Hello. Hello, everyone in Facebook land. So it is Tuesday again at 6:30, and I am here to share some more songs and some stories as well. And of course, we always start with a smudge. I just wanted to talk a little bit about just the land that we're standing on. So we're here in Treaty 7 territory. I'm here in Treaty 7 territory. So I'm actually from Muskeg Lake Cree Nation, which is in Saskatchewan, which is in Treaty 6 territory. But I've actually never lived on reserve. We go when we visit. But this, I've considered Calgary my home for a really, really long time. So it's really been a special place for me here. So I always like to start by acknowledging the land upon which we stand, because if you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. So this is the home of the Treaty 7 people. We're in Treaty 7 territory. So I acknowledge all of the Blackfoot nations of this area. I acknowledge Siksika, Kainai, and Bagani. I have many, many friends from all of those different nations, and it's such a blessing to be able to learn from the different elders there and the knowledge keepers there and the people who share in a good way there. So I'm just really humbled and honored to be able to live here. I also honor the people from Tsutsuna. I've gone to many, many sweats out there. They're considered the beaver people. And I used to go sage picking out in Tsutsuna, as well as sweetgrass picking right there along the river. So there was this little enclave where the beavers had kind of like backed up the river just enough that it was like the perfect area, and so much beautiful sweetgrass grew there. But they started to work on the ring road. And so the beavers are like, I'm out. But I really miss having those conversations with beavers and, being able to pick those medicines in a good way. And there was something really special when you were out there on the land with the beavers, just listening to them build and getting mad at you and slapping their tails on the water. But it was magical. It was really magical out there. And so I'm humbled to live in that territory as well. And then anytime we start heading towards the mountains, we're going to pass Morley, which is Stoney Nakoda country. So I acknowledge Chiniki, I acknowledge Bearspaw, and I acknowledge Wesley. That nation's having a really hard time up there right now with all of the virus that's happening. And so I'm going to let us much and pray for them specifically, but for everyone who's really suffering. I know it's been a really hard and weird, couple of months since all of this started in the beginning of the year. Creator's definitely trying to teach us a lot. Mother is trying to teach us a lot. And so it's really about acknowledging that and appreciating the lessons that are learned. And so today, we're going to be smudging, of course, with sage. And I have my medicines set up over here, even though we're not using all of them. We're only using the sage today because it is the women's medicine. But if I was doing a 4 direction smudge, I would use my sweetgrass, of course, my cedar, my sage, and my tobacco. So, and just a moment, Lyndon. No, you may not go on your smudge. Sorry, my son's behind anyway. So I'm gonna just prep a smudge here. Lyndon, can you come smudge with me?
Okay.
Can you come smudge?
Yeah.
I think we should really put things into perspective, because I think sometimes we get so reliant on like different electronics and things like that to kind of keep us entertained that sometimes we forget how we treat our family members.
That was weird. It glitched.
Yeah, it's really glitchy.
Yeah.
Awesome. So again, this is just sage. I'm doing the Blackfoot roll right now, but I pre-crunched it before. And I have it in an abalone shell. People are often asking what kind of shell this is. It's abalone, and it was actually gifted to me, so I was very thankful for that shell.
Yeah, there's this person in Roblox who said he knew from somewhere, so I'm convinced it might be from this, honestly.
So first of all, we're going to light it. It has all 4 directions in the smudge bowl. So the medicine is the earth. The bowl is the water. It comes from water and it holds everything. The fire, of course, is the men's medicine. It represents fire. And then the smoke is our prayers. It's air. It's connected to our spirit. And so you'll notice I'm fanning it with my hand. I never blow on it because our breath is our life. Our life is precious.
Oh!
Ow!
So, shoot! Oh, shoot!
All right. So I'll go ahead and smudge first. So I smudge my hands. Whoops, I forgot. So if you're wearing jewelry, you can take your jewelry off just because metal holds energy. You don't want to hold any energy. Smudging is our way to just get rid of anything that we're carrying. It's our way to pray or to give thanks or to just ground ourselves or balance each other out. It's also really, really healthy. So it actually kills airborne toxins like viruses, bacteria, fungus, and it makes the air better to breathe. It pH balances the air around us. So, and it ionizes the air, which is pretty cool. So, yay, science. I love science because it proves things we've done for thousands of years. So, again, putting my hands in it. Bring it over my body. 1, 2, 3, 4 times for each direction. Smudge my mind so I can think clearly and learn from every person that crosses my path. Smudge my eyes so I can see all of the beauty that Creator has gifted us. Smudge my ears so I can be open to hear all of the messages Creator sends me. Very thankful for my hearing this lifetime. Smudge my nose so I can smell danger and cookies. Smudge my mouth so I speak only true and kind words that are helpful. I always ask, is it truthful? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Is it respectful? If it's none of those things, don't say it. Don't do it. Right, Lyndon?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Touch my throat so that I can remain, give voice to the voiceless. Also, I'm very thankful for my voice this lifetime. I smudge my heart so I can remember to be kind and compassionate and show unconditional love to all of those people around me. And all those strangers I haven't quite met yet. I smudge my stomach so all the food that I eat this day will nourish my body. Smudge my lungs so I can breathe good, clean air. I smudge my womanhood because I'm very thankful to be a woman and a mother at this time. And I smudge my shoulders and my back so that I can carry all of the responsibilities that Creator's gifted me with grace and humility. And then I will also smudge my arms and my hands so I can do this good work that Creator's put me here to do in a good way. Smudge my legs so I can walk this red road in a good way. And smudge my feet so I stay grounded and connected to Mother Earth, treading lightly upon her, honoring her with every step. I'm very humbled to be walking on Mother Earth. And then if there's anyone in your life that you want to send extra love or attention to, you just want them in your heart, and you smudge for them as well. I'm smudging for the Starting Dakota Nation today. For many different nations that are actually going through a really, really hard time. For all people who are going through a hard time, I think right now are starting to really settle in, and I just want to send love and appreciation to them. And then if there's anywhere in your body that you need a little extra love, a little extra help, you just smudge that as well. And then when you're done, you say hey, hi, or miigwech, or merci, or grazie, however you say thank you in your language. And you just smudge. Yeah. And so there's no right wrong way to smudge. It's just whatever feels good to you. I do quite a kind of a long smudge because I cleanse kind of every aspect of my body. But when you're in a hurry, you can just do your whole body. It's really great because whenever I'm really stressed out, I tend to smudge and it just puts everything into perspective.
I'm gonna smudge my stomach a lot because I want to lose weight.
Okay, that too. But good to see you too, Tanya. I have a little bit of a sore throat today, so I'm gonna probably not sound as strong when I'm singing, but it's still really lovely to be able to share and to be able to sing.
I'm gonna make like a little
Awesome. And so the first song I'm going to share is, of course, the Cree welcome song, just because now that we've smudged, I just want to welcome everybody in a good way. And just to, share this song. I love to share this song because it does. Usually when we share songs, we share in rounds of 4, to honor the 4 directions. But this one is sung in rounds of 3, and that's to keep the circle open and welcoming so everyone completes the circle today. Because in a circle, we're all connected. There's no beginning, there's no end. No one is greater or less than anyone else in the circle, just like in the hoop of life. So it teaches us to honor each other for those differences, because it's those differences that makes our community resilient. As if everybody was exactly the same, the world would be just boring and nothing would ever get accomplished. We wouldn't see all of these incredible things in the world. So it's really about that balance of coming together and engaging, and just trusting in your own path and not dictating when anybody else's path is. So this song really brings us together, in a humble way to be able to honor and respect each other in that circle. And it doesn't just mean welcome; it also means beautiful. Welcome. Miasin, miase, hasemina, hasemina, epe takote, wagomaga, oh, ta, oh, ma, destino, mi hace, mi hace, termina, termina, e peccacote. Wagomaga, Oda, Woma, Destino, Mia sin, mia se, Termina. Termina e petacote wagomaga Honda Homa Destino. Hi everyone, and welcome to the circle today. So I wanted to share a song that I had actually written, and where did my drum go? I mean, is my drum over there on the couch?
Let me check. Yep, it is.
Thank you. So I'm just gonna grab my drum really quick.
I got it. Okay.
Thank you. And if you're gonna play that, you have, as long as it takes me to do this podcast, and you've lost it for the rest of the week.
Why?
Why do you think?
I'm gonna play anyway.
And you're ready to play your room? Okay, great.
No.
Okay, go do that in your room then.
Okay.
All right. So this song is a song that I've written, and I was doing a project with my friend Audrey Lane, called Wild Construct. And it was talking about kind of all the building that's happening with the ring road here in Calgary, and just the impact that it's had, on sound, on the way that we listen to things. And the one thing that I was struck by is the birds, and just how, you can usually hear them and they sound different in different seasons. But I was missing the fullness and the richness of that cacophony of sound that sometimes they would make in different seasons. We weren't hearing as many of the birds. We weren't seeing as many of the birds. Even like the lack of bugs was pretty intense. And so I was thinking about the voices the birds share and how they each contribute to their community in a different way. They all call out for different things. And so my spirit animal, being the blue jay, she warns us. She warns us what's going on. She mimics different birds to help them, to nurture them, to communicate with them. She will call, like she'll make a screeching hawk sound. So that's often what you'll hear. It almost sounds like a screeching hawk, but it's a blue jay, and that's kind of what they've been known for. That's their sound. But they do that to warn different animals about different predators in the area. And so I was thinking about how she would warn about what was coming, and how it was really about acknowledging, that voice that we share, that collective voice that we share as a community. But all of the animals are part of that community, and the birds are the song of that community. And so this is kind of like that bird song, that bird's voices song. We'll see if I can remember it. I'm going to have a sip of my tea first. All right. Way up, way up, way up. 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 So that song was, it was one of those ones that just kind of comes through you. And I think it's really important to acknowledge the things that come through us and really trust them. There was many times that stories would come through me, songs would come through me, or teachings would come through me. And I was having a really, really hard time like accepting them. And I was questioning where they were coming from. And so once the teaching would come through me, I would run to an elder and be like, hey, this just came through me. And they're like, no, that's legit. Like, this is a gift that you have as a two-spirit woman, and these things are going to come through you. So it's really about acknowledging and accepting those gifts and knowing how they can help other people. It's not really about an ownership or an ego thing. It's about sharing them because they need to be out in the world. And it's really about bringing that healing where people need it, and bringing that strength, and bringing that love, and bringing that light. And that doesn't come from a place of ego. It comes from a place of spirit. It comes from a place of your heart. And so it's really that song came from a place of giving voice to those animals, to really giving voice to the people who are struggling. They, whether they be standing people, the trees, or the crawlers, all of those little bugs, or the winged people, the flying people, or any of our four-legged. It's really about giving them strength and giving them a voice for what's happening all around us. I think it gives us a moment to just really appreciate all of those things that have brought us here, and all of those things. When we say all my relations, it's everything, all of the plants, all of the animals. Mother Earth, she's part of our relation. She's our mother. It's the wind. That's how we breathe. It's, our sister spirits there. So it's really about acknowledging that. And so another song that I wanted to share is the laughing song. It's also called the Happy Song, and it was from the Four Winds Singers. So when I learned it, I was going through a really kind of hard time, hard depression, and then I heard this song. And as we were trying to learn it, we kept messing it up, and so we kept laughing. And it was the laughter that truly helped me heal, truly helped me go through a lot of hard things. And I think when we look at music as medicine, and we look at laughter as medicine, that's truly where our largest healing tools are. It's things that we have at our disposal. And within us, it's letting things go. It doesn't mean we're not acknowledging things that have made us sad. It's just acknowledging that we're strong enough not to let them bring us down anymore. And so this song, yeah, it makes me laugh. It makes me smile. And I might mess it up, which would make me laugh even harder. So let me stand up and sing it. Ooh, as soon as I get this song, I have another song in my head now, which is always funny. I have another song in my head, and it won't get out. Apparently, the laughing song doesn't want to come out, which is why it always makes me laugh. All right, so instead, I'm going to sing Windeaho, which is the Four Directions song, because I was talking a lot about the winds. I think the wind wants to be heard. So I learned this as the Four Directions song. It's also on YouTube as Cherokee Morning Song from Robbie Robertson. But it's really about acknowledging those four directions, because we're a balance of all four directions. When we say the four directions, there's four of everything. There's the four seasons, there's the four elements, there's the four parts of our being. So, our mind, our heart, our physical body, and then, of course, our spirits that fuel the whole thing. It's really about acknowledging that balance, of the water, the earth, the air, the fire that's within us. And this is why we smudge, is to acknowledge that balance. All of the smudge holds that all of those elements, all of those things that are part of us are within that smudge and within the world around us. And so this teaches us about that balance and just honoring each direction for what it is, but knowing that they're reliant on each other. We can't just be too much in our own head or just too much in our own heart, because we need to be balanced. And so this is really about acknowledging that balance. which is the Cherokee morning song. So yeah, for some reason the laughing song just wouldn't come out. That's funny how the world works. But I always say whatever's meant to be shared is meant to be shared. So you just have to kind of live in the moment and go with whatever your heart is sharing. And so I wanted to share the bear song because I know that I've had a couple people send me messages about the bear song and just how different it is than the other bear song, but it's kind of the same at the same time. So I teach kind of the children's version or the community version of the song, not the prayer version of the song. And so it's really about honoring the bear, about honoring the spirit of the bear, who he prepares us for the winter. He lets us know how the winter is going to be. So if he's real bad, get ready for a cold one. But he also teaches us what to eat, when to eat it, how to get ready, and how to really honor all of the world around us. Because the bear he represents community, because it's that sense of community and that ownership of community that the bear provides. He knows as a predator, as a consumer, but he respects and honors everything. He only takes what he needs. He never takes more than his share, because he knows that if he does, then somebody else would be without. And so he teaches us how to live in moderation, how that the earth provides us with everything that we need if we only take what we need and never more than. And so it's really about acknowledging the teachings of the bear and acknowledging the bear spirit that's in each and every one of us, because he helps us. He comes to us when we need him, if we ask for it, that sense of ownership and community. So this is the bear song. Another song that I want to sing and share is the Raven song, because the Raven's the best. But I want to share the story about the Raven first. It's such a great story, and everybody, many different cultures, many different teachings have different stories of the Raven. And so this story might be different than one that you've heard and one that you've been told, but there's so many other great stories, and each of them have different lessons for us. This is the beauty about hearing a story. You might hear the story like this 100 times in the same lifetime, but every time you hear it, it's going to hold a different teaching. It's going to hold a different significance, because we are never the same person at any given moment. And so it gives us the tools that we need at any given time. And so you might hear that same story, and it'll be told in different ways each time you hear it. And so it's really about acknowledging and taking what you need from it at that time. And all of our stories are like that. It's not like an Ace of Stable where it's like the moral of the story is da da da. It's really about giving you that strength and the ability to take what you need. It's not about dictating those lessons, but it's about being open with those gifts. And so the Raven story, a long, long time ago, of course, before we were created, the world looked really, really different. And so the birds and the animals and the bears and everybody looked a little bit different or sounded a little bit different. And it was because they had different gifts to learn and different lessons to learn, to be able to share with us, to be able to teach us, because that's what the animals and the plants and all of creation is here for. It's to teach us. We've got a lot to learn, so that's what they're there for. And so the raven looked really, really different indeed. So the raven had all of these glorious rainbow feathers. And so no matter which way you looked at him, he looks like a different color. So his feathers not only were rainbow, but they were also iridescent. So he was super blingy and shiny. And because of this, every time he would catch a glimpse of himself in like a puddle of water or a river or a lake or whatever, he would just look at himself and be like, wow, I am gorgeous. I am so gorgeous. I must be the most beautiful creature on earth. Oh my gosh, because I'm the most beautiful, I must be the best. And so he started to develop a little bit of an ego. And eventually he started going around and telling everyone, oh my God, guys, have you seen my feathers? Look at me. I am beautiful and fabulous and I'm gorgeous. I am the best. I am the best animal, obviously, because look at me. And because he kept saying that he was the best animal, all of the other animals kept thinking, well, if Raven, if you're the best, then what does that make me? And of course, the Raven's like, well, obviously nothing. So you shouldn't even try because you can never be this amazing. And so the animals started to feel bad about themselves and they stopped doing what made them amazing. And because the animals keep the world going, the birds and the bees and all of the bugs and crawlers, everybody contributes to making the world work. Well, the whole world just started falling apart because all of those little pillars that were holding up those pieces just crumbled. And the bear, who of course keeps that community in balance, keeps everything in balance, watched and as everything was falling apart, was like, whoa, 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 wait, what is going on here? Why isn't anybody doing what makes them amazing? And all of the animals, as they would talk to the bear, was like, well, the raven said that he was obviously the best animal, so why should we even try? And the bear said, that's ridiculous. Nobody's greater or less than anyone else. You know what? Let me go talk to the raven. But you guys are amazing. Just do what makes you incredible. It's not greater or less than. Don't compare yourselves to others. We're so different. Just be amazing. And so the raven kind of was off looking at himself in a beautiful puddle, of course. And the bear slowly trundled over to the raven and said, Raven, what are you doing? You're making everybody feel bad. And the raven said, why? And the bear explained, well, you've been telling everybody that they're less than you. And so nobody's doing anything that makes them amazing. Look around, Raven. The earth was falling apart. And the Raven's like, well, that's not my problem because I'm still gorgeous and fabulous and beautiful and obviously the best animal ever. And finally the bear's like, Raven, you're not. Nobody's greater or less than anyone else. And the Raven said, except for me, of course. I'm the best because, like, look at me and how beautiful I am. And finally, the bear was trying to reason with him for so long and finally got fed up and was like, okay, fine. All right, Raven, if you think you're the best animal, well, go and catch the sun because only the best animal can catch the sun. So if you're the best, go catch the sun. And the Raven, who of course was too busy admiring himself in this beautiful pot of water, was like looking at himself and kind of like, well, of course I'm the best, but yeah, I can catch the sun because of course the best animal can catch the sun, and I am the best animal, so I'm gonna go catch the sun because of course he wasn't thinking straight. And so he flew up higher and higher and higher, and as he did, it got a little bit warmer and warmer and warmer. But he didn't, nothing deterred him. He was desperate to prove that he was the best. And so he flew higher and higher and higher, and he got warmer and warmer and higher until his feathers started smoking. Oh my gosh. And so he didn't care. He's like, no, I am the best animal. I can catch the sun. He flew higher and higher and higher until his feathers burst into flames. And he was like, oh my gosh, I'm on fire. And then he goes down into the ocean. And as he swam to the shore and he pulled himself out, he looked down and his feathers weren't rainbow anymore. They were completely burned, completely singed, and he was mad. He was so mad. How could the bear play such a mean trick on him and make him lose his color? Well, he was angry. And so he started marching angrily to the bear. Well, he's a raven, so he started hopping angrily to the bear. And as he hopped along his path, because he had flown quite a ways, he started passing all of these animals that he had made feel bad. He saw as the beaver was cutting down trees and she was redirecting the river and creating all of these new streams of life. How amazing was that? He thought, wow, that's an incredible gift. And he watched as the pollinators, the bees and the moths and also the butterflies started flying around and they were pollinating all of these plants and making them grow. And he thought, wow, that's amazing. Maybe they're the best. And then as he kept going, he saw how the little mouse was aerating the ground with the way she dug. And he thought, wow, that's amazing. And he saw how the birds were spreading the seeds all over. He thought, oh my gosh, that's incredible too. And then he saw as the ants were lifting so much and cleaning up all of the debris that was left behind. Wow, they're amazing too. And then he started to feel bad and he started to apologize to all of the animals. He said, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I ever made you feel like you were less than. You guys are all amazing. And then he looked down at his own feathers and he thought, but I'm not amazing anymore. I'm certainly not the best. I'm nothing. And so he started to slowly, sadly, walk back to the bear. He wasn't angry anymore. He'd walked it off and apologized to all of the animals that he'd made feel bad. So by the time he got to the bear, he said, Bear, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I ever made anybody feel like they were less than. Now I feel like I'm less than. And they're all amazing. But Bear, I'm not special at all anymore. And the bear said, No, Raven, you're really special indeed because you learned a really valuable lesson. You learned about something called humility, that you're not greater or less than anyone else. Nobody's greater or less than anyone else. But it's about being humble and honoring the gifts that you have, but not comparing them to other people. That's humility. And the raven thought about it for a minute. Humility. Okay. And then he thought about the trick that the bear played on him. And he thought, I know, no animal could catch the sun. Why did I ever think I could catch the sun? And then he kind of started to chuckle a little bit to himself. And then he thought that was a really funny trick. And so, for the first time, he got his voice and he started laughing. And this is how the raven first got his voice. And then the raven said, You know what, Bear? Humility. That's a really good lesson. And I am going to teach it to all of the two-leggeds when they get here and all of the other animals by playing tricks on them. And so this is also how the raven became the trickster in so many different teachings, because he was always trying to teach people and animals a little bit of humility. And so that is the story of the raven. And so the Song of the Raven, it teaches us about really honoring those gifts that we have, but also honoring the gifts that everybody else has, because they all work in unison. And it's not about judgment, it's just about enjoyment. So, yeah. So here's the Raven song. Let me squeaky chair. Hey. Oh my gosh, people have been saying hello, people. So another one that I kind of wanted to share is Makchi, but I think I need some harmonies for that. So I'm gonna wait until I can teach people some harmonies and then bring them in because it's a beautiful song, but it's very like it needs voices. It needs so many voices. Um, and I still, for the life of me, cannot remember the laughing song, which is hilarious. Do you remember the laughing song we did?
Yes.
How does it go?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
No, I don't want.
No, I'm trying to remember how it goes. That's why.
Oh.
I cannot remember. That's okay. I'm just singing Thunderbird song instead.
Wait, which laughing song?
The one that goes ticking and then this.
Oh, that one?
Hallelujah.
Yes, that.
No, that's the rain song.
Then what is it?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to bring it next week because I can't remember it to save my life. All right. But I do remember the Thunderbird song. And the Thunderbird, again, is that spirit that leads us forward. It teaches us that everything happens for a reason. So there's a lot of people that have really kind of come back to what they're passionate about because we don't really have a choice other than to really reconnect with who we are and with ourselves in recent days. And I'm getting things accomplished. I'm getting so many things accomplished around my house. It's ridiculous. I've done far more loads of laundry than is humanly possible, but I did it. And we've been painting and really creating space. And I think we sometimes forget that our homes are our space is supposed to be our sanctuary. It's the place where we welcome family, welcome friends, and welcome ourselves. And so it teaches us to really connect deeply with ourselves. And so the Thunderbird teaches us to do that. It teaches us to really assess everything that happens to us and how are we reacting to it. And so it reminds us that everything happens for a reason. And we have a choice in those moments. Are we going to learn from the things that happen to us, or are we going to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again until the learnings get harder and harder and harder? Because that's the Thunderbird going, nope, this is the path that you need to be on. And so people think if things are too easy, then maybe they're not on the right path. But if things are too easy, you're probably on the right path because the Thunderbird's not trying to mess with you. And so even the good things, they teach us something. The bad things, they teach us something. And it really teaches us to appreciate the lessons that come with that. So like I was hit by a car, 9 years ago. And I had a choice in that moment. I could either feel bad about it and be like, oh, why did this happen to me? And sulk, or figure out, why did this happen to me? What is the path that it's putting me on? And it brought me forward to this moment. It brought me to where I could drum and sing and make drums and share teachings with incredible people from all over the place, and to be able to share things in a good way. And I wouldn't have had the confidence or the strength, I think, to do that had it not been for that truck hitting me. It's led me on the road, the path that I'm on now. And I'm thankful for that moment. I'm not thankful for the pain and for the multiple surgeries, definitely, but I'm thankful for the lessons that came by it. And so, yeah, this is the Thunderbird song. I'm just really thankful for everybody kind of like coming and hanging out and letting me share songs and stories. It's been really great. I'm going to sing the healing song because I think it's really important to be able to share that. Those are some of the ones that I like to share on each broadcast is the welcome song because that's very, very important. And where we're at now, I think the healing song is really, really important. Again, this isn't my song. I don't think anybody really owns a song. It's really about how that song can help people and how the teachings behind the song can help people. And so this song I had actually learned from several different elders. Karen Moore is another is one elder. All of Manitoba is another one. Sharon Brutuner. There was several. Oh my gosh, so many that have actually left this world, but I still feel like they're with us. They're with us, guiding us through these times. And that's the whole point of, our elders. They stay with us. They last, whether they be in our hearts or in our minds. They're there. And so this song was originally a ceremony song, so we would only sing it in ceremony. And then it started to become more and more dominant, where we would actually sing it in more public ceremonies. And now the elders said, this is needed. This song is needed. It helps with healing. It helps with understanding. It helps with healing not only our physical bodies, but our mind and our spirit and our hearts. Because that's the only way that we can move forward is when we're all together, healed as a full unit, as a full community. And so it's our way to pray for each other. It's our way to pray for our world. It's a way to pray for ourselves, because I think sometimes we forget to pray for ourselves. We need to do that. We need to honor that in a good way. And so when we sing it, we of course sing it in the 4 rounds, all of the 4 directions. But the 3rd round, we actually stop drumming. And in that stillness, I invite you to pray for those people in your life that need that healing, whether it be your friends, your family, people who are suffering with mental health issues, that they don't have that support system that they used to. I know I had a little bit of person yesterday because I'm such an extrovert. I'm like such an extrovert, and to be so contained and not be able to have those conversations and hugs and seeing people face to face every day, it's hard. It takes its toll, but it's the strength that we get from each other that's really beautiful. And there's all these other ways to communicate. I couldn't imagine doing this 20 years ago, where we didn't have all of these forms of communication. It is such a blessing to be where we're at in this time, and so we are thankful for that. But when we pray for healing, that's everywhere. It's the air that we breathe. It's the sun that shines. It's the moon that rises and falls and controls the tides. It's everything. It's all of those things around. And we need to heal together in a good way. So when I sing it, we sing it for everyone who needs healing. And maybe some people who don't even realize they. So this is the healing song. It's also called the crying song or the wailing song. And in it, you can hear the tears. And it's done in a heartbeat, which is the healing beater when it's. So I remember the laughing song now. So we're gonna leave you with the laughing song. And yeah, it's just to like lighten the spirits. And remember, the best healing comes through laughing. It comes through song. It comes through stories. And really keeping yourselves honored and not rushing yourselves and don't compare yourself to anybody else, but really just be in the moment and enjoy all of those beautiful things in life. Enjoy the sun on your face. Enjoy really odd things that you see as you go. Like I was watching a rabbit trying to go right across from a school and trying to go across the field in front of the school, and he couldn't because the superintendent was doing a lawnmower, and so he'd kind of sneak up behind the superintendent, and the superintendent would turn around, and then the rabbit would just bolt. And so I was watching this zigzagging pattern that the rabbit was doing, and it was making me giggle. And so it's looking at all of those things around us that make us laugh. Sometimes, well, every day the girls take my cats out on leashes. Hilarious. And the cats, all they want to do is roll around in the dirt. And that's so hilarious because I tend to sneeze and I tend to get like this. You can tell I'm kind of coughing and wheezing because of the amount of dust that's on my cats right now. So that's hilarious. But yeah, just to appreciate and laugh at all of those wonderful things around you, and know that laughter is going to be what gets us through. So this is the laughing song. Way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, Awesome. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I'll be back here again next week on maybe Facebook, maybe. I'm trying to get the whole YouTube thing figured out. So if I do, then I'm going to probably start a YouTube channel where any of the live streams here will go there, because I know it's hard to kind of like scroll down feeds. But
can't you just live stream on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm live streaming. Oh, yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Yeah, but I think I can download these videos too and throw them up on there. And then that way they're just streamlined in one place. And so everybody can access them, because there's a lot of people who aren't necessarily on social media that need the teachings and want to be able to share with their friends and family, and people who are in care, especially the elderly, because nobody can go visit them, and it's really sad. And next week I'll be singing outside of an old folks home, just to share some teachings with them, and some songs and some stories where I will have to talk very, very loudly because I will be outside, but it should be lovely. And sending prayers and loves and hugs and kisses to everyone. And I miss everyone's faces, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye. Twitch, and hi everyone.